And if you know anything about my 18th birthday party, you'll know that it was planned to be a very big affair. But I invited around 30 people, 30 young people, and the thing I swore when no one came is that my 19th birthday party would be my new 18th birthday party, and that it would be big, and that everyone would come, and that we would make up for it. But no one ever did. It was a small affair. It was a small affair, and all the birthday parties after that were piecemeal small affairs. There wasn't ever really one that was a big milestone celebration, certainly not 21. And anyway, I don't know that I would wanted 21 to be a big milestone celebration, because it was a different kind of milestone. I wanted to celebrate being a teenager far more than I wanted to celebrate now becoming a legal adult person, because that's what 21 kind of meant in our family. We still kept the old traditions, the old idea that you become an adult when you're 21. I've had the key to the door, never been 21 before, my beloved grandma would sing. So yeah, for the longest time I planned and replanned my 18th birthday party over and over again, and it never happened, and I always promised myself it would, and it never did. And the people who I kept inviting never came. I mean, sometimes one or two of them would, but they never came en masse. And this 28th birthday was not a big, ambitious affair. And in fact, I made it as easy as possible for people to come, hoping that just a few would, that it would be a bit part. I thought maybe 5, 6 people would come. Nothing big. And I even had it on 3 separate days. I'd planned to have 2 separate parties on 2 days, and instead it was 3. Because when the first 2 were washouts, one in Leeds at a club, one in Bradford at my house, I decided to go out to the cinema in Bradford with my close friends and give them a second chance, because they must be feeling rotten. They must be feeling rotten for having missed my birthday, I thought. The fact that all of them missed it must make them feel really, really guilty, and if not ashamed, then at least really regretful, and feeling like they must have hurt me, and being concerned for me, and that sort of thing. And so I organised a 3rd trip out. I invited them along to my family's trip to the cinema, and I invited my closest friends, who I thought would actually be sorry that they had missed my birthday. And none of them came. Kind of confirms what I'd always suspected and believed. But it's all just a fake. Whether there was once anything genuine in it, in my time at ALC, in my time at Anime Sock, right now, those who claim to be my friends, it's just fake. And it would be better perhaps to move on than to try and hang on. I saw How to Look Good Naked today. You might say that's a bit of a lowbrow program, and I don't give a toss. But there was this girl who was a ballet teacher, And her dream as a child, apparently, they didn't delve into this at length, but they kind of mentioned a few words about it. Apparently her dream had been to be a ballet dancer, and her body had let her down. I don't know if she got an injury, or if someone came up to her and said, look, your body type, the rate at which you're growing, your body shape, will never do ballet. I don't know which it was, but for whatever reason, they said, your body will not allow you to do ballet and become successful at it, and she accepted that. And it was like she said she'd never forgiven her body for betraying her. And there she was in her studio teaching 16-year-old girls ballet every day, and looking at their forms and their bodies and how they were. And they kind of just said, yeah, and she's depressed with her body. Well, why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be? And the first thing they did was take her and they put her in a lineup of women her own age with her own situation, being a 33-year-old mother of one. But yet they've got stretch marks too, and they've got flab too, and they've got bits that have gone south. And it's like, yep, all true. But I thought to myself, and suppose we got her naked and stood her right up against one of her 16-year-old ballet dancer girls. And aside from the fact that we'd be arrested for child porn laws now, because 16 is apparently legal to sleep with, but illegal to photograph, which is a bit of a contradiction. We would actually say, no, there's no comparison at all. She's a lovely girl, she's nice, but there's just no comparison with this toned, athletic figure and this 33-year-old, tired, broken down body. And you can say, but that's not realistic to measure yourself against a 16-year-old. And my response is simply this. There's not a single part of a human heart that's to do with realism, but it's to do with realistic expectations. You know, I used to do this sketch as a teenage boy, where I spiked my hair up and made it white with flour, and I impersonated an Einstein-like mad scientist, and I would talk on areas of the human brain. And I actually had a series of funny sketch charts, flip charts, where I'd kind of, yes, and this is a part of a boy's brain devoted to football, and this is a part devoted to girls, and that sort of thing. And there's not a single part of the human heart that's devoted to realistic expectations. We're not wired for realistic expectations. If we were wired for realistic expectations, humankind would probably have never advanced. The fact that we have planes and cars and microchips and lasers, the fact that we have treatments for horrible, obscure cancers, this is all testament to the fact that we don't have realistic expectations. Yet at the same time, not having realistic expectations, not being made to have realistic expectation, causes us huge pain when we come up against something that we don't have the resources or the knowledge or the experience to change or do anything about. It's one of those great human paradoxes. The same thing that gives us such strength, that gives us impetus to do such amazing things, our inability to be realistic, to have realistic expectations, also causes us such unimaginable pain.